Kick in. Give it a second. What's up, y'all? Let's give a second. All right, we're live on everything.
All right, everybody. Welcome to, I don't know what we call this, another Big Nick Energy live show, whatever we want to call it.
Press conference? I don't know.
Yeah, this is our press conference. So this we got some breaking news here, guys. I don't know if it's breaking, but it's some type of news. The Knicks are dangling Quentin Grimes in trade talks, and
real quick before you get into it, everybody on Instagram, if you're going to talk to us, we can't see your comments, so come on over to YouTube, and you can join the conversation. We'll put your comments on the screen. Sorry, keep going, Edge.
So we've all known that the Knicks are going to be kind of a hot commodity on the trading deadline, but news came out today that Grimes is kind of being dangled around in trades, and supposedly they're looking for a player that's not going to be like a stopgap. They want it to be somebody who's on the Knicks for a long term. I'm guessing for the next 2-3 years or whatever the case may be. But it looks like I don't know. What do you think, Vin? What do you think about the Hawks if they give a call to the Hawks and it's Capella? The main framework of the deal would be Capella and Murray for Mitch.
Well, I don't know if you saw the reports, but the Hawks are asking for two first-round picks for Dejounte Murray, and that takes me away from that trade. I don't want that anymore because if we're going to go for a big guy in the offseason, we need those picks, at least 3 of them. And I'm not willing to give 2 for a guy that's going to end up being a role player, not our 1A.
Yeah. That's the problem where we're at is like, I'm okay with dealing Quentin Grimes, but if it's not somebody that's going to like move the needle, I'm not really all that interested. Do Knicks fans think Dejounte Murray's going to move the needle? I don't know. I'm not intrigued by the Dejounte Murray move only because if I'm Dejounte Murray, why would I want to come to the Knicks when I'm going to get way less shots than I've ever had in my career? Vin, you can read off.
Yo, Dylan, thank you for coming over. Like we said, everybody on Instagram, if you want to join the conversation, we will put your comments on screen. Trade value, Grimes, what you guys thinking? Just came from Insta. I don't think Grimes is getting us a star. I think Grimes is going to get us maybe a Brogdon, maybe a guy who is expiring contract, older. Knicks fans have this tendency to play a fan favorite with a lot of the guys on our roster and think their value is much higher than it is. But outside looking in, Grimes is not worth much. He's not. He's probably, in reality, he could be worth 2 second-round picks,
Yeah, that's that's been my problem all along when it comes to anybody on the Knicks is when you get so emotionally attached to these players that you don't want to see them go. And especially now when we're finally good and finally competent for for 3 years, 4 years now, you see these guys grow into the men, into the players that they are. It's hard to just want to give them away for nothing. Not for nothing, but give them away at all.
I feel like our guard rotation is too small. We need more size in the backcourt. That's Hall of Fame menace. I mean, I don't like to talk on this subject exactly because we haven't seen this roster fully healthy, technically. We haven't seen Mitch and OG and the effect that they're going to have defensively. So I'm going to sit on that comment. Come back. I don't know if Mitch comes back in like 2 months. Let's revisit that. I implore you, please come back and we'll talk about that.
I think he makes a good point only because like when it comes to the playoffs, you want guys that are in size and mass. Like OG is like the quintessential primary defender that you put on legit anyone. You could put him on Victor Wembanyama. You could put him on Joel Embiid. You could put him on Kevin Durant. You could put him on Trae Young. So I understand that obviously OG Anunoby's not a guard, but you need size in the backcourt. And DiVincenzo, as much as he is a great defender, he still is kind of.
Oh, he said backcourt. I'm sorry. I thought he said front court.
Yeah, he doesn't have
backwards.
He doesn't have much size. Grimes.
Hold on. With that being said, I want to ask Hall of Fame Menace if he wants Spida, because if you're on the Spida train, this is a condescending question. We'll go back to that. Let's keep going. We got a lot of comments coming in. Love the content, guys. Thank you. Latchlin, Jeddah. Thank you. Happy to move on from Grimes, but only if it's for a guard and helps make us better for the next couple seasons. Agreed. We don't have a 6-man right now, like a legit 6-man. We don't have one. I think Dante could become one, right? If Dejounte Murray ends up here, or Brogdon could become one, and Dante stays into that starting lineup.
Yeah. I think we listen, losing quickly was rough. Basically, that trade was RJ for the guys we got. It was basically a 1-for-1. We were losing quickly anyway. But you need a guy that could give you even 65 to 70% what Quickly gave us. Not in the production as far as numbers, but the pace, the shot selection, those all come into play when the starting five plays a certain way, and then you bring in Quickly. It's a total change of pace, change of energy, change of attitude. So you need somebody that could give you just a little bit of what Quickly has given us for the past 3.5 seasons.
Hey, everybody in Instagram, I'm looking over here now. I see you guys commenting, and we do want to pull you up on screen. A lot of like good questions in there. Come over to YouTube, and we'll get involved in the conversation. Evan Grimes first for Brogdon. Something else that's realistic. Money has to match money in this game. And I think Evan matches Brogdon straight up.
I don't want to make it seem like I'm a cap guy, right?
I'm furthest thing from, but I'm pretty sure Evan and Brogdon even
supposedly swap. With Evan and Grimes, we have if you package them two together, it's supposedly $21 million in cap space, which is an awfully lot of money, bro.
What I also want Knicks fans to remember is, I think 2 weeks ago we brought our roster down to 14. We currently don't have a 15-man roster, so right. I do believe it's more going to be more for a 2 for 3. That's
a good point. So that tells you that the Knicks have been in talks with, I'm sure, other GMs and teams for a while, and they wouldn't leave that roster spot open, especially taking away Taj Gibson, a Tibbs favorite.
Yeah, and that you got to think about that. Yeah, Taj Gibson left, and we got Precious Enunwa. Although he went 6-6 last night, it was the ugliest 6-6 I ever seen from a big man. You got to think if there wasn't a move, Taj would have been sliding in there. So read the tea leaves. I see Grimes and Fournier as an easy trade package, as well as depending on who we're looking for. Yeah, I mean, I think it's been known that this is the ideal trade package for Knicks fans, but you got to ask, why has nobody bid on Evan Fournier in 2 years?
Yeah, I think, listen, I like Grimes. I think he's got a lot of potential. And I don't know if you guys seen, was it last year or the year before, we broke the RJ news. And Grimes, we broke the extension news, but Grimes was the piece that Cavaliers wanted the most that we didn't give up. I love Grimes. I'd like to see him get an opportunity elsewhere. He's got some game. He's got a good first step. He's got great catch and shoot. So if he's not on the Knicks, I'm wishing him the best.
Laichlin, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Brogdon or Rozier seems obvious for 6-man position. Rozier came up recently, actually, in trade rumors. Neither should be overly expensive, as teams have no short-term potential and will easily bite at some picks. Yeah, that's the issue, though, right? We do have these assets, and these assets are worth more than Rozier. These assets are worth more than Brogdon, in my opinion. These assets, 4 first-round picks, should get you a star, man. What do you think on that, Ange?
Listen, I like Brogdon because I think anybody who the Knicks go for, they're not only looking for a specific type of player, but they're looking for a specific type of person. Nothing against Terry Rozier. I haven't watched much basketball, but I know a little bit about Brogdon and how he operates as a player and as a person. I believe he's something in the NBPA. I don't think he's the vice president, but he's somewhere up there. As far as the politics of the NBA. So he's definitely a high character individual. And I'm not saying Rozier isn't, but I know a little bit more about Brogdon. And listen, Quickly should have beat him in the 6-Man of the Year award last year. Brogdon won. Dude's got value.
When we got Jalen Brunson, I hopped off the spider train. That's who we were saying about the undersized front court, back court.
Yeah.
Backup point guard is unnecessary now with Deuce. He can handle it. Fill our other roles. Agreed. We need a bucket. We need a fucking older veteran bucket.
Hey, listen, you're talking about a bucket. I was watching Melo's podcast the other day, and Miro asked him, do you see the Knicks making the Eastern Conference Finals? And Melo was like, the Knicks they're built to stop you. But he said, in the end, when it comes down to it, the NBA is all about a bucket. You need a bucket. So I'm going with Melo. You need a bucket.
You need a bucket. You need somebody who's going to shoot like 60% out there off the bench on like what? 15 shots. Give him Emmanuel Quickley's looks.
Listen, I like Deuce. He played great yesterday. He's been playing great since the opportunity has rose. But when it comes to late game situation,
it's not him.
Last night, you need somebody who could kind of calm the offense down. He was just throwing the ball to Julius. Nothing wrong.
We'll get into Julius. Listen, we are Julius homers over here. We do love him, but we will call spade a spade. We will get into last night's game. Let's get through all these comments first. Middleton, too much money for a chance he shows up. Bucks are hoping he performs. They're riding on it.
I'm not going to put much stock into Chris Middleton. He's not going nowhere, guys. Bucks are a championship contender.
Vaughn says, I know some people is talking about Murray, but I would rather have Brogdon scoring off the bench. Me too, man. I like Brogdon. I'm kind of going more leaning towards Brogdon just because of the situation we're going to be in, right? We got Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, demand all the ball. Majority of the games, they get the most. Dejounte comes in. I fear we're in another RJ Barrett situation where you have a guy who's demanding the ball, takes the efficiency down on the team. I personally am cool with Dante DiVincenzo in the starting lineup. A bucket off the bench is that's what I want. And I love Deuce, yo. I've said it since we traded IQ. I've been keeping a close eye on Deuce. And boy, oh boy, is that stock raised, man.
Yeah, Brogdon, I don't know if you guys remember, but Brogdon was the target. If it wasn't for Brunson, if we didn't get Brunson, I believe Brogdon was the next target.
By the way, it's pronounced like Lockian. I'm from Australia, common name here. I watched a YouTube video on the hieroglyphics in Australia that turned out to be fake last night. Good watch. You should check that out. But
thank you.
Overseas, across the pond, thank you for watching.
Thank you. We appreciate your support.
Terry is a 500 times better player. I'm skipping that. Sorry, JD.
Where's
Joe Mill? Oh, we can't. We ain't shit.
Hey, we are the guys, just to let you guys know.
No, they're the guys.
They're the guys, but we are the guys behind
they're the girls.
Yeah, the guy and the girl, but we are the guys behind the scenes making it all
happen. For those who don't know, we are the owners of Big Nick Energy. Woo! No, yeah, Joe and Mill definitely better than us.
Joe and Mills are light night and day better than
Explain
us.
Why Brogdon when we have Deuce locked up. Because Deuce isn't a walking bucket yet. He's good.
Nobody wants. I'm pretty sure Tibbs is not looking for a Deuce to produce the way he is producing.
Oh yeah, this is like extra points. This is like a bonus points for him.
Yeah.
They didn't. If anything, Deuce is solidified. Deuce solidified Quentin Grimes being in this trade package. That's all Quentin Deuce did in these past 5-6 games, 7 games.
Whatever it is, Deuce is.
That's what he did. He made Quentin Grimes become tradable.
Whatever I said this the other day on Twitter, but whatever happens in terms of trades or whoever we bring in or whoever we send out, Deuce McBride has earned his spot in the rotation.
Absolutely. Don't worry. I can tell y'all don't watch other teams. I have 7 games on tonight. God bless your attention span, man. We over here, we have to be Knicks 24/7 because what the brand is. If we miss something, then we have failed ourselves in the community. And straight up, fuck everybody who's not the Knicks, man. I know enough about these players through fantasy sports and, highlights and stuff like that. We got a good grasp on the league, I'd like to say.
Nothing against you, JD, but I'm not, unless it's like a national TV game, I'm not really watching anybody else but the Knicks. Our brand is Big Nick Energy. I focused on what we need to focus on,
Yes, and when the rumors come up of trades, we'll start checking out these other guys in depth. But Chris Middleton, no. How about Bogdanovich from Detroit? Always loved him. I've always been a fan of Bogdanovich.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got that old man Paul Pierce game. Moves slow, uses his shoulders, knows how to use his body on angles, could finish with contact, but he also is older. I believe he's like 33 or so. So you're giving up pieces for somebody who might not be as impactful in 2 years.
DeRozan from Chicago, if we're looking for a bucket. I am so on the DeRozan train, man. He's a rental. If the contract would be off the books after this year, if it didn't work out, we could possibly get Drummond in that deal. I'm so big on that, man. I'm so big on that. I do think that takes us to the next step. Personally, he's a bucket, man.
I agree with DeRozan's a bucket, but then all I do is think about Randall and just DeRozan on the same side of the court, the clunkiness of it. But like you said, you need a buck. Sometimes
If you get DeRozan off the bench, brother.
DeRozan ain't coming off the bench. But sometimes if you
Listen, we said that same thing about Russell Westbrook.
That's true. That's true. You're right. Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Now Russell Westbrook getting like 11 points a game, 20 minutes.
Sometimes you acquire the talent and then figure out the rest.
Buddy Hield. I love my Sooners. I do like Buddy Hield, but I
Wait,
haven't heard any. What?
You're a Sooner?
No, I'm not, but I like the Sooners. They're my college team.
Okay.
I would love him, but I've heard nothing of the sort.
Yeah, Buddy Hield has been in trade rumors, but I have not heard one thing about him to the Knicks. He is a sniper. Actually, you know what? Buddy Hield in Oklahoma in college I just remember college during that time and just seeing him shoot the lights out from half court.
Harden, Westbrook. Yes, we all agree there. If we get DeMar, hold on, this is good. Here we go. If we get DeMar, we're gonna need a 5 that could shoot. I'm not so worried about, like, if he came off the bench, I don't really care about the 3-point shooting. Yeah, and if you look at his stats this year, he's gotten a little better. I'm not calling him a 3-point shooter, but he has been getting them in. But that's not why we would need a guy like that, man.
Yeah, I don't even think Tibbs, like, his offense doesn't require a center who can sit out on the 3-point line and shoot threes. Maybe he likes it.
Let's bring it back. Right? How were we sold on Isaiah Hartenstein when we got him?
Right. They were saying Hartenstein was the stretch 5. I've seen him take definitely not more than 15 threes in his 2 years so far. Probably less than 10.
So even if we do get a 5 that could shoot, he's not going to shoot. And I was actually surprised that Precious Achiuwa was handling the ball as much as he was yesterday. Like, I was shocked that Tibbs didn't pull this guy out because of that alone.
Yeah. Listen, I know when Precious got traded to Knicks, you were just posting so much Precious content, but man, does he make some boneheaded plays sometimes, you know? But I don't want to like say he can't be impactful, because I don't think people realize like how much goes into just being traded from one city to another, especially when you're not a guy that's getting the ball 7, 8, 10 times a game. Like, you're moving your family, you're totally different change of life, scenery, that all comes into play, guys. So as OG also gets more used to being in New York, playing with the same players, you're going to see his impact rise.
Yeah. So I don't know how many of you use Twitter, but fucking Jesus, man, we bullied Isaiah Hartenstein to become a stud. I don't know if the same treatment's going to work for Precious. He seems a little thick-headed. For those who don't know, when he was on the Raptors, he said that the Raptors facility was training him wrong. He needs to be trained like Kevin Durant. So take that how you want it. The guy's going to try to do something special when he gets the ball in his hand, and that is not a recipe the Knicks need. I don't like the fucking guy. It is what it is. I don't like the guy. If we're doing a trade, I don't know if it's possible to put him in. I don't know if anybody wants him. I know we've been making tweets, making our jokes. That's what we do. We make memes. And the Raptors fans are coming over and they're going, oh, it's starting. So, like, they know. We know. I don't know. But we don't know.
Also, guys, I just want to let you guys know. I just want to tell you guys, if you could subscribe to the pod, if you could share a video, comment, we greatly appreciate it. We're more than halfway to being monetized. I believe we're over 1,500 subscribers, so we're really growing.
So listen, and if you guys help us here, we're not going to take any of this. This is going to Joey and Mill. This is our way of let Joey and Mill get a little paycheck. So spread the word. I'm going to skip 2 comments and then go back to them because I know Angelo wants to see this.
Isn't Alec Burks a perfect fit? I think we all know Tibbs. Like, if Tibbs is like, we knew that Tibbs loved Alec Burks. So I just feel like this is just a match made in heaven in terms of what we need and what we could get and what we could offer for Burks. I don't think we'd be giving up much. Listen, I'd rather Brogdon over Burks, but I also think if you can't get Brogdon and the right package is available, go get Burks for a year. I don't know what's his contract right now, so I don't want to say trade Grimes for him if Burks is on a rental. You know what? It's a touchy subject with Burks.
Yo, those of you asking, I just got a text from Joey. Joey is about to join the live. So
yes, we have
your wish is about to come true. LOL. JD, the seven games a night feller. Clearly watched zero Precious at Toronto, and Spo absolutely unable to do anything with him when he was in dire need of a backup five. If I'm reading this correctly, he's saying that Precious Achiuwa gave Miami the work. Please back that up. I want to know more about that.
Yeah, correct.
Because it ain't working for us. How many games would you want Mitch to play to get back in shape for the playoffs? Whenever he's ready, man.
Yeah, I really think when Mitch comes back, I really don't think Tibbs is going to throw him right in the starting five. I know Tibbs is like big on chemistry and just keeping things cohesive. If Mitch comes back with like 10 games left, Isaiah Hartenstein is going to be the starter. I really believe that.
I mean, we might be too far in.
We might be too far. Then you hit it on the nose.
The chemistry might be too far in to take Hartenstein out.
Oh yeah, get to that Burks one more time. On the bottom. Okay, guys. I'm just gonna read off a couple of numbers here, right? I got in front of me. And Burks' I'm gonna go past his last 5 games, okay? Last game versus Washington, 29 minutes, 34 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. January 12th versus Houston, 19 points in 30 minutes. January 10th versus Spurs, 15 points in 20 minutes. January 9th, 20 minutes, 18 points. The dude's averaging like over a bucket a minute. Just saying, though. Just saying.
Hold on. Okay. Wow, I didn't know this. Okay, so Spo could absolutely not make Precious work. He drafted him. So I didn't know this. I didn't know Precious Achiuwa was drafted. I just looked it up. He was drafted by the Heat. So what you're saying is that even Spo couldn't get this guy to work? If that's what you're saying, and we're agreeing, and if Spo couldn't get this guy to work, that makes me, I don't want to say hate, because he could turn his game around. It makes me dislike this guy even more.
Yeah.
Heat fleeced Toronto by sending him there for Kyle Lowry. Nick Nurse's Spo couldn't do shit to unlock Precious, and both were dying for a backup 5. Wow. All right, so that's some like terrifying news for the Knicks.
It is, but Tibbs is a good coach. Precious came in. He started playing Precious ahead of Jericho Sims. He sees something there. He sees something.
I think he sees the lack of Jericho Sims.
That could be it. That could be it. Nothing against Jericho Sims. He's a project, guys. It's okay to have like a project at the end of the bench. I like Jericho Sims.
This is what I think happened with the center situation. I think they're going, Mitch is going to be back. Let's just do what we can. Let's not make any major moves for a center because Mitch is coming back. And they're just, and I think in practice, Precious Achiuwa is just a more physical specimen. IQ is probably higher than Sims.
He's not fouling as much.
Yeah. That's where my head is going, why he's getting minutes. Also, Isaiah Hartenstein got in foul trouble last night. Precious would not have played that many minutes last night.
That's the problem. When Hartenstein gets into foul trouble, you're just relying on Precious only because Tibbs is not sliding Randall to the 5. He doesn't like that. Yep,
it sucks that he won't because we all know OG Anunoby could play the 4. OG Anunoby could play anywhere.
1 through 5.
Is OG too small to slide as a small ball big?
No, OG can play 1 through 5. He could play the 1. He could bring up the ball for short spurts. Like you're telling me he can't bring up the ball the same way Randall can. He's not going to initiate the offense, but he could do everything 1 through 5. He'll just make an impact, bro. He's just like that player that could
JD is basically part of this show today. I watch 82 games a year. He fans cry every day that they took Precious 1 spot above Tyrese.
Oh, wow. Wow. Hey, listen, we're not going to trash Precious. He wasn't the main piece of the deal, okay, guys? He was the filler piece. Thank you, Precious, for giving us 12 minutes a game and fouling. We want you to foul 6 times, okay? That's it. Thank you, Precious.
Malachi Flynn getting burned. I see some potential in there, man. I like the way he moves with the ball. He does not pick up his dribble.
Yeah, he's very passive.
Given he's probably not playing the court that much ever again unless God Deuce goes down or Jalen goes down, but I don't hate him.
Hey, listen, he's just that player right now. And I also tweeted this the other day. Every time he got the ball, it looked like he was fighting for his NBA career, bro. It looked like he was fighting for his career. His career's on the line.
All right, so you guys want to talk to Dejounte? We want to talk to Dejounte. I want everybody in the chat and anybody on Instagram. We cannot see your comments, so please come on over to YouTube. We would love to talk with you guys.
If you want to comment. If you want to comment. If not,
yeah, if you just want to watch, stay over there. It's all cool. Ange, what's your realistic package for Dejounte?
Like I said, I'm not a capologist, but if I'm gonna do that deal, guys, I'm sending Mitch. I'm putting Mitch in a deal with Grimes and Fournier. If that works, if that works, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a capologist, but I would take back Capella and I would take back Murray for those two. And whatever needs to be the filler pieces, but the main framework of the deal, if it's Capella and Mitch swapping and Murray and Grimes and Fournier swap, I'm going to do that deal. I think I'm going to do that deal.
See, I'm kind of landing in the boat where I don't want Dejounte Murray. Like I said earlier, I don't want to give away too much for him and then not be able to afford the star we want or have to give away.
It really depends on I just got to see the package. I just got to see like what they're offering. I mean, it did say the Hawks are looking for 2 first-round picks. So we'll see.
If they would take a pick and then substitute one of those picks for Quentin Grimes, we're talking.
Yeah.
I feel like we got to look at the playoffs and who we're going to be matched up against. We could have Mitch and Ihart, but someone has to be able to get Kristaps and Bam out of the paint when they're shooting. Didn't Bam, wasn't he like mediocre against Mitch in the playoffs?
Yeah, he did what? I mean, he had a great series, but what he's trying to say is like Mitch has a hard time guarding those stretch fives. I mean, Bam isn't really a stretch five, but he could come out 15, 16 feet. Kristaps really gives Mitch problems. I don't know. I like the recipe of having 2 bigs because I remember that Lakers team that won the championship in the bubble when they had AD, they had JaVale McGee, and they had Dwight Howard. Watched a podcast recently. Jokic says that was the hardest team that he ever had to go against because of the size. They could throw multiple different bodies at him, and everybody guards him differently.
It's just CTE basketball from Precious. Hilarious seeing every top NBA account tweet keep Randall and Precious off the court at the same time. Too much CTE ball.
Come on, JD. You're killing me, boy.
I agree. Would rather keep Mitch and have Atlanta keep Capella, but I feel like it's unrealistic.
I think the Hawks will get Capella off the books, though.
Listen, there's some information, right, that if you read the breadcrumbs, right, CAA.
You do 4C breadcrumbs? What kind of breadcrumbs you use?
Listen, I'm going to sprinkle some breadcrumb knowledge on you guys.
What brand breadcrumbs?
Homemade, okay?
4C. No, use 4C then.
Okay, listen. Adrian Wojnarowski, Woj, he is represented by CAA. Anything that comes out of his mouth regarding the Knicks, I trust the most because the Knicks are very family-oriented in this sense where they work with who they know. So I put weight on Woj knowing more than everybody else because he is tied to this organization. What Woj said was that the Knicks are going to – hold on.
I forget it.
What Woj said – Joey's here. I'll let him in a second after this take. What Woj said is that the Knicks are going to look for a low-end deal right now. And then in the offseason, they're going after a big fish. So when we throw out names like Capella and Murray or whoever else, anybody that has a decently big name attached to it, I'm going, it's not happening. Because these bigger deals require bigger packages, and that's not what the Knicks' game plan is. To me, things can change, obviously, if someone becomes available that they really want. Obviously, things change, but all right, hold this down like a Joey in here.
Yeah. Here's what I believe, guys. I don't think that the Knicks are gonna do anything. I think the most they would do is Murray and Brogdon or one or the other, but it's not going to be nothing more significant than that, only because you can't just rip a team apart in the middle of the season, regardless of how well they're doing. You're going to mess up too much chemistry. You're just going to mess up Tibbs, and you know him. He's a maniac already. So you just rip apart the core of the team. You're going to mess with something you don't want to mess with. So the Murray move is the most I think that the Knicks would do. Correct or no, Joe? Most.
What's up? How are we all doing?
We're good, Joe. I'm assuming you watched some of this.
Joe, people are
You
asking.
saw us fucking grasping for our life, holding on when they're talking about other teams' players. So that's
I-
our Joe here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Hey, what's up? How's it going? I watch other teams' players. What was the original question?
There was
I
a
don't
whole
know,
lot
but
of
people
stuff.
were asking for you.
All right, so did you know that Precious was drafted by the Heat and Spo couldn't get this guy to do shit?
I'm not going to say Spo could or couldn't get a late round, first round pick to do or not do something. Like the guy wasn't in the rotation the one year he was there. They sent him in for Kyle Lowry because they needed a point guard.
Let's go, Joe. Talk that shit.
The guy played like 10 or 11 minutes per game. He was like the 28th, 30th overall pick. Like you don't really expect much out of that guy the first year. He definitely cannot play like Kevin Durant. The fact that that ever came out and the fact that Raptors fans told us that after we traded for him is pretty startling.
I like your new picture, Joe.
Thanks. Oh, this is Shannon's boss actually gave that to her for my birthday. It's a abstract of Madison Avenue and MSG.
Very cool. Very
It'll
cool.
look better. This is not my new webcam. That's USB-C. My computer's unfortunately only USB. HOF Menace, what up? What up? Salute.
So they were asking if we came in and they were like, "Who the fuck are you guys?"
Did they? Oh, nice. Thanks.
Joe, just move your mic a tad away.
How about now?
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome.
Let's get into these comments, Joe. Which one do you want to hit first?
Here, JD is shitting on the fucking Knicks. Was one of the comments you guys made like saying that they held up Bam in the Heat series?
I just said, I mean, he had a
I
great
said Bam
series.
wasn't Bam versus us. He wasn't that.
The first couple games he wasn't. He definitely showed up later in the series a lot.
There's a whole montage of Bam's illegal screens during that Knicks series. It's like a 2-minute clip, bro, just of that series. How many
It's on our Instagram in case anyone wants to go find it.
I hope, JD, just so you know, we fucking hate the Heat over here. So I don't know what you're trying to do. We're never going to agree.
Yeah, I hate the Heat as far back as Anthony Carter. I hate the Heat as far back as Dan Marley. I hate the Heat as far back as Alonzo Mourning. How could I go any further? There was like one
Right
player.
there. Can we get a
Just Mickey Harrison and Pat Riley, man. Pat the Rat. That's as far back as we hate the Heat.
Yeah, fine.
He said wrong, but sure.
I'll give honest takes. I'll give honest takes though. On a serious
Oh, no,
note,
he said
like, Bam's
20th
nice.
pick. You heard Joey?
20th pick and Maxey was 21st.
Yep.
Oh, hit the Ace That Ninja one.
Huh?
What happened?
Okay. Go ahead, Joe. Take that.
So what was the original like thing that did you guys say at one point Bam didn't do Bam shit? Bam was like the third best player in the series.
It was not even a topic. We said it in passing. Take this. Read that. So
I don't think Murray is going to help, but I believe we need a pure scoring guard like Zach or D. Mitch because the game we recently lost, we couldn't score. The defense was fine, not great. Murray is a scorer, man. Murray, I said this one of the last times I recorded. Like Murray's points per game in the playoffs, which does matter the fucking most. Like his field goal percentage went up, his shooting percentage went up, his what's it called? His free throw percentage went up, his assists went up, his turnovers went down. Everything when the game mattered the most, this man shined. Like the Hawks actually took 2 games against the Celtics last year. It would have been 0 without both Trey and Murray.
Joe, why aren't the Hawks winning then?
They don't match up well. And they have the thing is Capella's fallen off a cliff so much defensively. Like their last coach before Quinn Snyder ran the team more like Tibbs would. It's like you have these guys, they have the ball all the time. Everyone else's job is to play defense around. They don't do that anymore. Quinn Snyder's more of a move the ball around, like get everyone involved offensively and kind of sacrifice a little bit defensively. And he would rely on Clint Capella to clean up all the messes. The thing is, Capella's about to be 30 years old and just has too much of an injury history now. Capella 2 years ago was better than Mitchell Robinson. And through Robinson aging, getting better, he's in the middle of his 20s. And Capella is now about to hit 30. And for most positions, when you're under the age of, I say the prime for most positions and most players is between 27 and 31. For centers, though, it's like 26 to 28, man. Because if you're 7 foot, your knees take a bigger hit, your back takes a bigger hit. And these dudes just they're constantly banging in the paint versus smaller guys around the perimeter. It's like the difference between playing D-line and O-line versus being a wide receiver. Those guys take way more hits. It's just like his career's kind of gone down the wayside faster than it would have been for any smaller.
So if the deal comes down to including Mitchell Robinson and you're taking back Capella, are you doing the deal? Yes or no?
For Dejounte Murray, yeah. Because I also don't think that the Knicks are going to keep Mitch Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein. And I've already come to grips that I personally would rather Hart than Mitch solely because of offensive ability and potential.
Is this as of recently or you've been believed that?
The second that iHeart got the starting job and started averaging 10 and 14 or whatever the hell it is, or I guess like 7 and 14 because he doesn't ever actually score 10 points a game. But like, and yeah, I've told you guys this. Anyone that's listened to me knows this. Like, I wouldn't want a single NBA player on my team that shoots less than 55% from the free throw line. It just shouldn't be a thing. Yeah. You can't be a fucking pro and shoot 46, 44%. When Mitch got hurt, he was shooting 39% from the line. Yeah, this dude gets fouled half the time.
I'm with you on. I don't want anybody on the court the last 6 minutes of the game if you can't fucking hit a free throw.
And you know what Eric Spoelstra loves? He loves if you're that guy and you can't hit a free throw.
Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, well, that's great. Yeah, if you can't hit a free throw, you're not coming in the game, bro. You're not.
You didn't curse.
Yeah, I said fuck. I said fuck before.
So I want to address some of the people because I did take a peek in Instagram. A lot of people are saying Clay. I want a lot of people to realize what Clay would cost.
It's a $34 million contract right now.
And like probably Julius Randle or picks.
No, dude, I did it. 48 plus Mitch because the Knicks have a trade exception. They can actually make that deal. Even though they'd be taking in a $5 million heavier contract. That would work, but like, why? Like, how much does that help? He's still not a creator. He's a shooter. We have shooting. We have creating.
Klay Thompson is a star. Okay.
No, he was a star.
You're not getting. It's value for value. I don't care. Money can match. The value is not matching in that hypothetical. It's not.
Yeah. I'm taking Dejounte more over Klay Thompson 10 times out of 10.
And let's put it this way. If you guys were the Warriors, right? Pretend we're all Warriors fans for a second. And you got proposed as a Warriors fan that watched this dude help you win 4 titles as the second or third best player on the team. You mean to fucking tell me we're getting offered Evan Fournier, Mitch Robinson, and maybe Quentin Grimes for fucking Klay Thompson? In no world am I as a Warriors fan even getting. I'm laughing you out the room. I'm hanging up the phone. I'm throwing my phone out the window because that's such a shit deal.
It's a joke. We don't have. The only way we could afford Klay Thompson is if you guys want to set yourselves back to re-sculpt your team around Klay Thompson. It's not Klay Thompson going to go somewhere and be the number 1 option. Be ready. That's happening.
Then I agree. I know. Whoop, wrong one. Klay sucks. I do agree with that. Klay is washed. Klay is washed as hell. Ben, I don't know what you.
Okay, Jordan Poole just went to Washington and became a number 1 option. Is playing like dog shit. You don't think Klay Thompson gets that chance?
I don't think Klay Thompson even wants.
No, you're out of your mind and you're just a hater. Klay Thompson.
No, dude, you can't. You're not a 1 on a team that has 5 wins. There are no 1s. That's the thing. Could he be the 1 on a G League team? Sure. He could be the best player if we played with him in the gym. He's not a 1 on any semi-good team in the league.
We're talking too unrealistic. Click the Embiid one. I got a good story to tell.
That's the most ridiculous fucking thing I've heard.
Okay, guys. I don't know if anybody...
And you don't watch the Warriors, right? You can't really... He's watched a year and a half ago. The dude hasn't been the same since the Achilles. Sorry, Ange, you can go ahead.
That's okay. That picture of Brunson and Embiid hugging, that was the first time they played?
Nope. You ain't breaking that news here.
No?
No, we have some news about that, but we're not breaking it here. Hell no.
Okay.
For all 27 of these people? Damn, what a tease for no reason.
It could be way more, but that's okay. We'll hold on to that. We got some news.
Hey!
One day we
got some really good news. Let's put
guys, Ange can't break news, but here's some dogs. You know, they'll cheer you up a little bit. Say hello. Hey, stop eating my wall. Stop eating my wall, you little one.
Hey, Joe. So let me ask you a question. So now that we know that Quentin Grimes is in trade talks, which we all kind of assumed anyway, looking back at it, we kind of lost out on Donovan Mitchell because we didn't want to include Quentin Grimes in talks.
Wait, hold on. I don't want Klay either. I was just saying it's not. We don't have what would take him here to get him here.
Then he's not worth as much as you think he is, and his play isn't worth what you think it is anymore either.
Are we serious?
So, how do you feel about that? That now, 2 years later, removed from the Donovan Mitchell.
My bad,
Teddy. Then this is what I think to you most of my life. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Ange. Sorry. Ange, go ahead.
Looking back at it now, we're 2 years removed. Are we 2 years removed from the Donovan Mitchell news, the trade?
last summer, like 18, 20 months.
We lost out on him because we didn't want to include Quentin Grimes in the talks. Now that we're including Quentin Grimes in the talk, how do you look back at that time when we could have gotten Spider?
Dude, I don't think Donovan Mitchell is good enough to rationalize giving your 3 best young players and 4 first-round picks. I've never thought that.
At that time?
At that time, at this time, anytime. I don't.
All right,
if you're giving 4 first-round picks and your 3 best players, it better be Kevin Durant or better. It's got to be the top 10, not top 20.
2 of them for OG and then Grimes, let's say hypothetically in a package for Malcolm Brogdon. Is that better than putting them all in for Spider?
I think that has more use and value to your team. Yeah, I think the amount of points basketball can be won in a variety of ways, right? But like the 2 simplest is that you have a defensive-minded team, you win 110 to 100, or you have an offensive-minded team and you try to win 130, 125, right? That's the basic. You either have an offense team or a defense team, and then you can get more nuance from there. I don't think the Knicks, with their coach, with Tom Thibodeau as the coach, who is not going anywhere, for better or for worse, can or would ever be the team that is winning consistently 130 to 125. And if you have Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, and Julius Randle in your starting lineup, that is how you have to win. And what you need in that instance is you need Rick Carlisle, or you need Eric Spoelstra, or you need a better coach or one of the best offensive-minded coaches in the league. You don't need Tom Thibodeau. You have Tom Thibodeau, you need Mitch, you need OG, you need Grimes, you need McBride, you need those types of dudes.
I think even Rick Carlisle, he had comments in a game a couple weeks ago. He said, yeah, we're scoring 135 points, but we can't stop anybody. We can't stop anybody, and that's
can't stop a nosebleed.
That's the only way we're going to win. Put up 130. You can't give up 130, 125, you know?
Yeah.
Kyle says Markelle Fultz and Wendell Carter.
Here, if you guys want to spit fire real quick, I'm going to go to the fan spell and see what a deal would look like for that.
I'm intrigued by Markelle Fultz. I'm not against Markelle Fultz. He's a little bit of a change of pace guard. Me personally, I prefer somebody like Fultz. I think even Brogdon kind of gives you a tad bit of what Fultz is going to give you, where the change of pace. That's what I'm looking for with anybody that comes in, is giving us, like I said, like 65, 70% of quickly, change of pace, energy, the play style changes, everything. That's what I'm looking for.
So
I would
Eric has something interesting, and this is not the first time I've heard this, to get Dejounte Murray just to flip him. And I've heard this throughout a couple takes on Knicks Twitter. I don't hate that idea.
It helps out a lot. It's the same thing as the Raptors wanted RJ and IQ instead of like 8 first-round picks or 3 first-round picks.
Well, I think that's what comes into like Joe. Do you think when Dejounte Murray's agents calling him and telling him, okay, Knicks are talking about trading for you, don't those discussions come up in terms of, yeah, you might be here 1 year and then you might get flipped and they might be looking for the next guy? That's all comes into play in these discussions.
100%. So many teams and players, like so many teams and front offices want good players.
Right.
Way more so than they want picks. Not everyone wants to be the 76ers or the Thunder. Like, a lot of teams want to try to find the 10th, 9th, 8th seed and see if they can build from there with what they have instead of just relying on hypotheticals.
Joe, Pascal Siakam, he's basically getting to choose where he wants to go because he is telling teams he's not going to sign with you if he gets traded. So why would anybody give up players plus picks if they've gotten through back channels that you're not going to re-sign on the max deal? So I'm just going to waste everything I traded for you for nothing.
You're not going to do that.
A big rental.
The only way you would do that is if you're literally the reason why Pascal to the Sixers is one of the only trades that makes sense is that they have a chance of winning the title this year. You only take that rental if you think you are in contention this season specifically.
Kawhi Leonard.
Hey, guys,
exactly.
Now that we got a good amount of people in here, just going to plug everything once again. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. On Big
if you're on Instagram.
Give us a like, give us a comment, give us a share. We're more than halfway to being monetized. This all is for Joey and Mills. These guys this guy and that girl, they do basically all the work when it comes to these kind of shows. So any support on there is appreciated.
Mel does even more than me, man. She does like 70%, I do 30%. Doing 80% of the post games is a lot of work on her part.
Also, go to bignickenergy.com. We easily, I can very confidently say that we have the best merch in the game. That's Vinny, the guy on the top right.
I'm going to stay humble with it. I think we got some cool stuff.
Yeah, he's the guy that creates all that stuff. So if you want to buy some merch, that's the place to go. And follow us on Twitter, Big Nick Energy _ Instagram, Big Nick Energy, just as is. Let's keep the comments rolling in.
I think I found out that JD is actually Rich Paul. Because he literally just said, you're not fucking over another client of mine. So I think he actually works for Clutch.
Or his cousin, F you or
your
something.
face.
Yeah, I still believe that whole CAA Clutch beef is way overblown. I don't care what anybody says. I'm only saying that because after the Knicks did the deal with Toronto, and low-key, we kind of fleeced them. I feel like Dolan might have got involved there and be like, hey, maybe I'll drop the lawsuit if I don't got to include these 2 picks or something like that. No, Joe?
I kind of agree for the most part.
Because you've seen after that trade happened, people around the league, like executives, at least from what I've read, they're like, how come the Knicks didn't have to give up more draft capital or any draft capital?
Well, what they found out, and what Masai came out afterwards, is that he wanted young players. He didn't want draft capital because draft capital is rebuilding. Right. He wants to pretend. He wants to still compete for the play-in. He wants to make the playoffs.
Do we want to pull up? Do we want to talk about RJ and IQ at all?
No. But we talk about RJ all the time. I wanted to actually address this super duper fast. I know we're not talking about the 76ers, but Teddy, if you don't think upgrading Tobias Harris into Pascal Siakam and then Maxi Siakam and Embiid are like borderline title worthy, then you're crazy, man. Also, if you go on any 76ers Reddit, anything like that, they've been trying to get Pascal for like 6 months.
Pascal,
this isn't true. We had Cam.
What about Pascal to the Mavericks?
Yes. I'm about to. You know what? I'm pulling me down. You're going up because you hitting them with the facts today. I'm just here to sort through the comments. There you go. So when we cover, it'll be my face.
I agree with you all. How are you a big man and you can't shoot for throws as a joke because you are to get foul a lot? That's why Joel is so dangerous. Exactly. And Mitchell Robinson shot 75% from the free throw line. You know how we all spazzed out that he was left off that top 24 hoops hype center list? If literally those lists are made by people that watch probably 10% of every team's games and they're just going through stats. It's box score watching. If I'm making a list, I'm not going to box score watch and put anyone that's shooting 50% from the free throw line on shit. Straight up. I don't care how many rebounds you got. Everyone rebounds.
Joe, what do you think Mitchell Robinson shoots percentage-wise at practice?
Wait, what did you say, Ange?
What do you think Mitchell Robinson shoots percentage-wise at practice? I bet you he shoots
80%. Or like 70%, 75%. I bet you it's way better.
I bet you it's 80%.
All right, yo, Cam didn't play for that reason. Or can we call bullshit?
Dude, I think Tom Thibodeau literally said in multiple post games after they benched him, Fournier and Rose, and brought in McBride and like got Grimes more minutes. We were this record, and this was our net rating, and then we were this much better with this net rating over here. So people are like, "Oh my God, Cam Reddish plays for the Lakers now." The Lakers have a bunch of vet minimum dudes and LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and they are not doing well. Just by the way, they're like below 500. I think they're fighting for a play-in spot right now. I'm not looking at it right this second. To say that like Cam didn't play because of that, Cam doesn't play because of inconsistency. And for him being such a great defensive player on paper, he could either shut down your best player or get back cut and stop caring. Cam is like the way, way worse version of a mentality player as Julius Randle. If Julius Randle was a small forward that was better at defense. If something doesn't go his way 2 or 3 plays in a row, he's checked out of the game for 25 minutes. That's inconsistency. That's why the dude's fighting for his life. Like playtime wise, he's on the Lakers. He makes $4 million, $6 million right now. Of course they're playing him because everyone makes $6 million and he's a good tantalizing player when he puts it together. Has nothing to do with his agent.
I'll say this about Cam. If Cam Reddish decided to just be an all-world defensive player, he'd be much more impactful because dude is still trying to get buckets and be the player he was in high school and college. And bro, that time has passed. Be the defensive play. You have every however you say that word, imaginable. Play defense, bro.
Dude, you can't be like a top 10 defensive player in the league and then stop playing for a quarter. It's just, that's why OG Anunoby is so valuable to so many people and so many teams. The guy is in there for 41 minutes a game, and he plays hard on the defensive end and then pulls a LeBron James on the offensive end. You know what LeBron does on defense? Like, I'm going to try half the time if I have to. OG does that offensively if you pay attention. I think he likes sitting in the corner half the time, and his agents or his people actually are like, yeah, we need to get you a bigger bag. We need to get you more involved in the offense. This is how you're going to get paid more. This dude knows in his heart of hearts, if he's a top 3 defensive perimeter player in the league, in the world, him, Jaden McDaniels, Alex Caruso, a couple other guys,
Jonathan Isaac.
they're making $35 million. Jonathan Isaac's an interior defender, but yeah, he's still great. Also, if Jonathan Isaac was really that high, he's getting 35 minutes a game, not 20 still, even off the injury.
JD says he is not a representative of Clutch. I'm saying Clutch, this shit is overblown, but during the initial meeting, there will be talks and assurances about expected roles. I don't put that much weight into that shit. Like Angelo said, if we've got a deal done with Toronto, we can get a deal done with Clutch.
That's it. It's business, guys. This is the NBA is a business. Regardless of business beef, if it makes sense for both teams, the deal's gonna get done.
And dude, for both Zach LaVine or DeJounte Murray, they know if they both came here, they're getting 30 to 35 minutes and almost as many shots and power as possible, as long as it's not passing Jalen Brunson. Either one of them would play as much as they want.
No more
and be in the playoffs.
No more Cam talk.
Agreed on Cam's
I want to ask you this, Joe. I want to ask you this.
Well, we're listen. We got like 5 more minutes, and then we got to cut this off.
I got 10. I got 10 to 15 to 20, maybe tops. Joe, let me ask you this: if you're DeJounte Murray and your agent is telling you you're going to the Knicks, are you happy or no? If you're DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray, it literally came out. The only thing he wants is to go to a playoff contending team. He didn't even say a championship team. He just said a playoff contending team. I would be ecstatic.
What is going on with the
shots? He's going to get less shots. He's going to be based in the corner for majority of the game, correct? He's going to basically take RJ's role in the offense. Why would you want to come here? Your skills aren't going to develop further over the course of 2-3 years. We're thinking of the talent. Yeah, sometimes, Joe, I say this all the time. Sometimes you get the talent, you figure it out after. But in terms of like the trajectory of his career and the offense and that Tibbs runs, why would he want to come here?
Everybody on Instagram, I see you commenting. Please come on over to YouTube, and we'll throw the comments on the screen.
And if you were just a random player on a team, not even the second best player, just a random player, would you rather play with Trae Young or Jalen Brunson?
Ask that question one more time.
If you were any player on any team, not even DeJounte Murray level or better, would you rather be playing with Trae Young or would you rather play with Jalen Brunson?
I think Trae Young is really fucking good, bro.
That's fine.
I really think Trae Young, I hope to God he leaves Atlanta and gets out of that because he could really hoop. And I think it's understated how good he is. I just think something's not just the fit of that team, the mold. It's just they're in a clunky place. Something's got to change. So I agree with that. They're in a clunky place. I think a lot of that's because Trae wants the ball in his hands too much. And I say it over and over again. Trae is a showman. He's not like a winning basketball player. He wants to look the best out there. One COVID year Eastern Conference final run be damned. Like he still wants to be put on a show at the end of the day. DeJounte Murray averages like 16, 17, 18 shots a game. So we'll say 17, somewhere around there. I'm literally looking at it right now. What is he Give me his numbers.
We are looking at 46% from the field, 38.6% from three, which is like 3% higher than his career, and 82% from the free throw line.
How many attempts from three? What does he get? 4 a game?
I would have to actually get off Yahoo. It looks like he gets around 6 a game, 5 a game.
Currently, wow. 16 and 23.
He's shooting.
Yeah, he is shooting, and this is his career year shooting wise. DeJounte Murray, but he would get 16 shots a game on this offense, dude. There's about 100, 110 shots per game to be taken. Like if you give Brunson 20, Randall 23, he usually takes more than Brunson when they're both out there. You give OG 12 to 15, you give Murray 17 to 19, and then DDV, McBride, Hart, if we still have them, like Grimes, it just filters down. They all get 10 or less. Like,
what do you mean if we still have him?
Someone's getting traded, Ange.
Joe, Josh Hart's not – you're going to trade Josh Hart? Jalen Brunson's not going to be a happy camper.
Dude, it's not up to Jalen Brunson. They traded Ryan Arcidiacono 2 years ago. Last year.
Arcidiacono's not going to leave the bench.
Ange, they need to get rid of some of these dudes, and they still have a clusterfuck at the guard position, and none of that. They still only have one guy that can bring up the court and initiate an offense consistently.
I'll say this, Joe, and I said this to Vinny before when you weren't here. Regardless of whatever happens with this team, whoever gets traded, whoever comes in, Deuce McBride has earned the rotation spot.
I agree.
Full time.
I agree.
Can't trade Hart. That's my man right there.
No, he's probably so Tyrone Thomas. For anyone that doesn't think you can or cannot trade Josh Hart this year, he is trade eligible February 6th. The trade deadline is February 8th. For a 36 to 48 hour window, Josh Hart can be traded this season.
Okay, and I'm sorry if I sound like I'm gatekeeping again, but this team is not trading any Villanova boys. This team is built around Jalen Brunson. He brought in his buddies. Did we need Josh Hart if we were going to go get Dante DiVincenzo the next year? I say no, but Josh Hart was a very vital piece to our playoff run last year. Obviously, things have changed. He's not grabbing the rebounds he's getting anymore, and he's less efficient. He's getting less looks and scoring. But you're not. This is Jalen Brunson's team, man. There's rumor. Listen, we all saw the rumor that the Knicks have considered trading Julius Randle. The only report we haven't seen who they're considering trading is who? Jalen Brunson.
Right.
Jalen Brunson's team, man.
Listen, guys.
That doesn't mean everyone's off the table.
How I'm going to break this down, very simple. If the Knicks trade Josh Hart, that's just bad business, bro. It's just bad business.
Why? If Josh Hart got you a better player that fits in your offense or defensive scheme more, why is it worse business?
Before you answer that, hold on, Ange. Before you answer that, look at Josh Hart's track record and the trades he's been a part of. He's always been a part of a star trade. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah.
There was always a higher caliber player.
Well, I mean, Josh Hart for Cam Reddish isn't a star trade, but he was the desired piece in that deal.
Obviously, except this one, but everywhere else, he's moved teams because there was a star put into the package. You're not getting rid of Josh Hart for Dejounte Murray. First off, they wouldn't want Josh Hart for Dejounte Murray. His age, his efficiency, they don't need a defensive player over there. That's not going to be their answers to their problems.
JD, look it up, man.
Yeah,
100%.
I just think there's no way in hell that Josh Hart signed a $100 million deal, teamed back up with his three great friends.
Right? We didn't keep IQ, but we kept. No, it's not going to happen.
That's just, like I said, bad business. It's just bad. But Joe.
The only thing that's bad business is if you make deals that make your team farther away from a title. Or if you're trying to tank and you fuck up tanking. There is no bad business because of friendships. I don't believe that.
I think it's beyond. One second, you can get to that. I think it's beyond just making an impact on the court. The Knicks still need to build something in the organization from that standpoint. Like, there's just more to it than just impact. Right now, where the Knicks stand, they just need continuity. Go ahead, Vin.
Hold on. JD is very confident that he can't be traded.
It's 100% wrong. It's February 6th to February 8th.
Josh Hart can be traded February 10th. The deadline is February 8th, he's saying.
JD, go to fanspo.com, man, and just put in Josh Hart in a trade and then see what the date says.
What does his availability say on there?
It says he get to be traded February 6th. And the deadline's February 8th, as we all know. It's February 6th. It's not from when he signed the extension. It's from when he exercised his player option before the extension.
Okay, trade. We talked about Clay. For those who are saying Clay, we've touched on this. You can rewind after the show. We're not going back there. I'm sorry. But trade Julius Randle for Lauri Markkanen. If there was a guy to trade Julius for, that's my option. You guys know how I feel about Lauri Markkanen.
I wish I could actually share my screen.
I know how you feel about Lauri Markkanen, but there's no way the Jazz would trade
Joey.
Do
you want to share the screen to show them that this?
No, can you do me a favor? Can you go to fanspo.com? It doesn't work on I can't. This computer's too old and slow for me to actually do multiple things. Fanspo.com and then look up the trade machine. And then you can literally just do Josh Hart, pick the first team, and then just find a guy that matches up money-wise to Josh Hart. And then you can just share the screen, and it will say Josh Hart is ineligible to be traded until January 6th. Okay, not January 10th.
For all the 39 people in here, right? Whoever's commenting, if you had the choice between Murray, Brogdon, and Joe, who's the next on the list? Murray?
I wanted Jordan Clarkson, man, but I don't think the Jazz are trading anymore.
If
they
you had the choice between Murray, Jordan Clarkson, and Malcolm Brogdon. Comment below who you're choosing. Comment in the chat who you're choosing. I think you're going to get a lot of Murrays.
Probably. He's the best of those three players. I would like Clarkson because of how much it would cost. I just also don't think I think the Jazz might become buyers instead of sellers at this point.
What's the Jazz? How are they sitting in the West?
They've won like 10 of the last 15 games or something. It went from being 12th to they're close to a play-in right now.
Joey, I don't see anything on here where it would tell you.
Then I need to teach you how to use this app.
Oh, there's some people that's saying Clarkson on Instagram.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, guys, like Vinny said many times during the show, if you want your comment to come up on the screen on our show, head over to our YouTube channel. Just type
Here, I'm just going to do it on my phone and then show it really close.
Depends what I'm giving up. Rozier. People like Rozier. I don't know about Rozier, Joe.
I mean, he's a good point guard. He's a defensive turntable, but he definitely can.
I tell you what,
listen, JD, DM that to the Big Nick Energy Twitter. I want to see what you're looking at.
Here, JD, read this. I want you to read it.
It's blurry. Read it to us.
I'm trying to make it so it can be seen because
read it to us.
It literally just says Josh Hart cannot be traded because 6 months have now passed since he signed to an extension. He'll be eligible to be traded after February 6th, 2024.
Let's settle this. JD, DM us on the Big Nick Energy Twitter. Send them.
I'll tell you what, I like Terry Rozier only because I know Vinny could come up with some cool designs. I remember when he was on the Celtics and he had that year during the playoffs when Kyrie was hurt and he was hooping. They had all those cool, like scary Terry shirts, like the Scream. They used the Scream mask. That was really cool.
Oh yeah, bro. If we were to get Scary Terry, how many Scream masks would be in the garden?
Vin, I feel like a lot of your fandom or your basis for wanting players.
Yeah.
It's based solely on whether or not you can make memes or cool things out of them. You're like, what? He sounds like a super villain. Dude, that helps me so much for memes, man.
That is not true because if it was, I made a meme about Precious.
That he didn't make a meme. Vinny blasted Big Nick Energy social for like 3 days with Precious.
And then I made a meme about him shitting on him. So
now the dude's the dude is falling on the floor, throwing passes behind his head. Did anybody see
all right,
that?
Fred Katz 3 hours ago. Restrictions on Knicks player. They can't trade Hart or McBride before February 8th. Both signed recent extensions, which makes them ineligible to be traded after this season.
Shout out Fred Katz.
Dude in the hat is too loud. We got there's two dudes in hats. Which one?
It's probably me. I'm louder than you.
I tell you what, shout out Fred Katz though. He's been posting some great stuff on The Athletic, man. We got to get him on the pod. Fred, if you're watching.
And we know you are.
Yeah. Some of you guys are watching us.
Yeah,
Begley.
no, I have no idea.
Also, Begley, I want more credit than what you gave me the other day when I found out that Jalen Brunson knew. I want more credit.
Yo, listen, if you're going to tweet we're not insiders before, you ain't getting shit.
All right, we got 10 minutes.
How about D'Angelo Russell?
JD, I don't know, man. I do not believe you. I don't care. Are you paying for The Athletic? Let's see it.
D'Angelo Russell?
Did he send it?
No, he didn't send anything.
D'Angelo Russell was the player that I wanted in the Knicks, like when he was on the Nets.
A long time ago. I wanted D'Angelo Russell when this was new.
I'm totally good. But I just, you know what I want to talk about, Joe? I want to talk very quickly about how we perceive some of these games. Like yesterday we lost. Very disappointing loss. Martin Luther King Day. We should have won. I believe we have a very good record on Martin Luther King Day, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen some numbers yesterday. But I don't want to just like, after every loss, it just seems like social media, everybody just goes into this craze. Like,
Trey Julius.
We're not a 72 win team. You're going to lose games throughout the year. We can't just like, trade Hart, trade Randall, trade like, guys, we're going to lose games. We're a damn good team. Josh Hart, damn good player, going to win us a lot of games. We don't need to overreact.
Let's. There's a lot of people who will take that.
Every team, if they lose their best player, they will lose more games.
There's a lot of people who will take what you just said and run with it. Josh Hart will win us a lot of games. How?
Josh Hart is just a player every winning team wants. He does things that doesn't count on the box score. So even though his net rating hasn't been well and his numbers haven't been well, bro, you can't just throw Josh Hart to the bench and give him 15 less minutes. Bro, let him feel his way out of his clunk. That's the way basketball works. You just got to keep shooting. You got to keep playing. You got to keep working, and you got to believe, man.
Carry this, guys. I'm going to go look at the DMs.
That's
my overall thing is that, like, Josh Hart is great or good when he is actually contributing, like, to rebounding, to defense, stuff like that. He was never good enough to be the number one defender on the team, right? That's why we had to get OG. The guy's too small to play that role.
Correct.
Yo, JD,
rebounding.
What's your Twitter name? Tell me.
Rebounding only means enough or so much. Rebounding only means a lot. Like when you're playing against teams that don't try to get boards. Like if you're playing against the lower echelon of the NBA, Sure, you're going to win a lot of those games by trying harder. The reason why Josh Hart isn't nearly as effective against great teams or against like playoff caliber teams, it's because everyone then tries harder. If your whole thing is that you try hard, you're going to be you're going to be played off the court at various points when it matters the most.
Josh Hart's going to matter more in the playoffs.
Do you think Josh Hart's going to matter more than OG Anunoby or Dante DiVincenzo?
No.
Is he one of the 5 most important players on the team? Is he even top 6 if you include Mitch?
I got some breaking news here. That has to do with our owner.
Did he sell the Sphere?
Yeah,
No.
I've seen that.
Should we do this?
I mean, it's whatever.
If it's already on,
James Dolan has been included in a lawsuit filed in the United States District Court for the Central District of California, claiming that the New York Knicks and Rangers owner sexually assaulted and trafficked a masseuse. I'm not going into more of this. It's a really long tweet. Papa Left tweeted it if you want to go look at it. I hope no harm on any woman ever. But if this is real,
can you bring up the article on screen quick? Just quickly show the people.
Bro, literally, this was posted fucking within the past day. It just says.
Vin, can you post it? Can you put it on the screen quick, just to show people? Listen, it's not really breaking news, but it's just Vinny.
If you have Twitter, go look up Papa Left on Twitter. It's his most recent tweet.
Just search James Dolan on Twitter.
It's a whole system here for me to share screen that we didn't prepare for.
Okay.
I mean, dude, that sucks.
We're not going to talk more into that right now, but if this becomes a recurring thing, we will definitely be covering this. But just familiarize yourself with it.
That's funny. Yeah, no, Gary V's the man. But I think he's going to buy the Jets before he buys the Knicks.
Let's get Steve Cohen to own both the Knicks and the Mets. Steve Cohen's got deep ass pockets.
I'm going to do this for JD so we can
got 5 minutes, guys.
I literally just typed in, can Josh Hart be traded? It says after February 6th.
It says that?
Yeah, it says after February 6th. I literally just typed in, can Josh Hart be traded? That's it.
I feel like this is going to, you and JD now have a
listen, we got
It's whatever. It's really whatever.
We got to be a little more careful with Josh Hart. We don't want to lose that follow. No, guys? He might be watching.
I highly doubt that.
Hey,
and you're worried about people following us or not following us. Like Stephen A. Smith following us for over a year has done nothing for us. We don't even tweet about the guy.
Here's the thing. I considered that, right? I was considering, do I really feel about Josh Hart? And then I was thinking about it. I like Josh Hart. I don't expect him to put up Jalen Brunson numbers. Anybody who hates Josh Hart is like looking at him like he's an all-star. Like,
no, I'm looking at him like he's not worth his contract, and this is a business at the end of the day. The business is to build a title team. Is he worth what he gets paid? No, then you got to get rid of him to build a title team.
So is it possible to have like just two bad months of basketball? Is that okay?
Is Josh Hart, has he ever been known to be a consistent shooter?
No.
What is the main thing that good teams take away in the playoffs?
Has he ever been on a team long enough to get comfortable within a system?
He's been playing basketball since he was like 6 years old. He's a professional basketball player.
His first time in the playoffs was last year, man. So you're right.
He's been traded.
Well, not even that. It's just in general. When teams go up against a guy that can't shoot, or you can leave him open and then you can pack the paint, it ruins your whole offense.
Okay, can Josh Hart? All right, I'm going to do this, and then we're dropping this fucking subject.
We got 3 minutes left.
What did you make? Did you make like an hour 10 cutoff kind of thing?
Okay, restrictions on Knicks players. They can't trade Hart or McBride before February 8th. And this is the Athletic.
Dude, I'm literally looking at something within the past 24 hours that says he can't be traded until February 6th.
All right. Let's just go ahead and say Josh.
You guys want to hold this down? I could just remove myself after.
No, Joey, do you want to keep going? Because I got stuff I got to do.
I mean, I wasn't able to come on in the first place because I have to do so much before Shannon gets home in 40 minutes.
Okay, we got 3 minutes.
So we're fucking ending this.
Yeah. JD, what's your tag, man? I'm gonna add you. I'll send you the thing. We could just fight. We could fight on Twitter. Oh, your brother's here.
Nick, we can talk trades this whole thing, buddy.
You package everyone.
Everybody. Hart.
You package everyone that's not Jalen Brunson. You choose one of Hart or Mitch, and then you trade everyone.
No, JD, I looked it up. You're right, and then I looked up what Joey looked up too, and he's right. So I don't really know. I don't know. So I don't know.
They're not going to trade Josh Hart. I could have just not done the whole thing.
They said hold it down.
Yeah,
Joe, just plug us here before we head head out.
Hey, first and foremost, subscribe to our YouTube page.
Yes.
Secondly,
So we can get money and quit his job and do this.
yeah,
full-time.
well, I don't know about quit my job. It would still probably work, but yeah, so I can start getting money and get better equipment. Exactly. Woo. Subscribe to our YouTube. Go to bignickenergy.com. Buy cool merch. I say it all the time. This is my favorite hat on the whole website. I love winter hats. Anyone that's not Jalen Brunson can be bought out or sold or traded. It is like not bought out, but traded. Like anyone on this team is worth getting away. I literally tweeted before that I want Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Dejounte Murray, Pascal Siakam because he's going to be an unrestricted free agent, and Joel Embiid when you trade away Randall and 12 other things, including 18 first-round picks. And that's how you build a championship team. And there's no Josh Hart, no Quentin Grimes. You might have DDV. You might have Mitch, Miles McBride. You don't have most of your players. You don't have most of your picks, but you compete for a damn title because you need top players to win a title. Hard stop. I don't care who likes each other, doesn't like each other. Go to bignickenergy.com. Buy a bunch of stuff. Bing bong. Fuck your mom. Thank you.
Cool. Okay. Big Bomb, we love your mom. Bye.